Good morning and welcome to Today in L.A. I'm Mike Amos, he's Forrest Lee, and we're ready to go this morning on a Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday.
It's good old Friday. It's the 9th of July.
Hope everybody's doing well, and if you, Nick, my buddy, he still uses that old-fashioned, where you
really?
Yeah, what do you call it? What do you call it? A
lather
brush?
up?
Yeah, and he got it all over. He's trying to shave his chin now. He shaves 3 times a day.
Huh. Yeah.
Have you ever seen guys with a beard that heavy?
Not really, but
I've
never had to shave 3 times a day.
I don't know whether Nick shaves 3 times a day, but I know Steve does. Steve shaves. 3 times a week. Hey, there are a lot of people that shave in the morning and shave at night before they go to bed, and then shave in the morning again. Of course, we're excited about today because it is Friday, and of course we got a lot of things going on. What do you got there?
Well, one thing I wanted to mention, Mike, Miss Teresa Sanders from the Goshen community. She was a longtime resident. She taught art, English, and was on the yearbook. She was the yearbook sponsor, but she passed away. Her funeral was today at 11 o'clock at Little Oak. But Miss Sanders taught me art, and that was one of my favorite classes. Was the 2 art classes I took in high school, one from Bob Lawrence, and Miss Teresa Sanders.
Yeah.
And but just a wonderful lady. Just wanted to mention her name.
And let me just say this: she would probably love to have heard that because it's those teachers. That's how they receive their reward in a lot of ways.
Mike, I loved going to school.
Yeah,
I loved going to school. And there's another thing I do want to mention. After 80 years after perishing at Pearl Harbor, they have determined the remains of an Alabama soldier, and his name is Ralph C. Battles. He was 25 years old. He was from Boaz, Alabama. But his remains were in what they call the Punch Bowl Cemetery. It was there in Honolulu. And that Punch Bowl is kind of like a crater that was formed from volcanic activity years and years and years ago. But over 25,000 servicemen are buried there who died during World War II.
Man.
But the Defense Prisoner of War and Missing in Action Accounting Agency, they were able to get some remains, and they have determined that through DNA testing and Y chromosome testing that soldier, Ralph C. Battles, he was a fireman second class soldier on the Oklahoma, USS Oklahoma. But honor to Ralph Battles of Boaz, Alabama, and that's some wonderful news for his family.
It's great that we've been able to
identify
him. No question about it.
And, but I've been there. Jody and I went about 25 years ago. And we went to the cemetery. It's a national cemetery. Yeah. And when you drive in, I cannot describe the beauty and the aura and the honor of seeing that cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
It's in like a punch bowl. That's what they call it.
Where is it located?
It's in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Honolulu,
Hawaii.
And among where, just like you said, 25,000
soldiers are buried there. Over 25,000.
And I'm glad you brought that to our attention today. Of course, Bill Rice is still on vacation, and we'll expect him back on Monday. Of course, Forrest Lee's with us, and of course he's giving us our rundown of snap beans.
Yeah, I picked some snap beans last night, rattlesnake snap beans. Got a couple of tomatoes here from Mike.
Yeah. Oh boy!
Take home. This is a turn. This is kind of orange and green.
It's something about these homemade tomatoes. They taste better. I don't know. I just love them when they come right out of the garden.
Well, Jody's not a fan of those small tomatoes, but I had some what I call sweet 100s.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You on Today in L.A.?
Morning.
Hey, Mike.
Mike Amos calling in from the beach at Grayton Beach, Florida. And how does it look today?
It's supposed to rain a little bit in the morning, and then finally the sun's going to come out for 3 or 4 days, which will be nice. Looking forward to see my best buddy John Grady Reeves coming in town, so I'll get to see him this weekend.
Well, good. He's fighting our practicing law here in Troy, and of course, one of my all-time favorites.
He works for Nick Severa and Grady Reeves, so he works for 2 good guys.
No question about it. I'm sorry to cut you short on that. Tell us about that.
Oh, I was just, picking, we were talking about snap beans and all, but anyway, maybe your dad will bring you some snap beans this weekend.
That'd be good. Yeah. I'm going to hit the carousel up. They have some fresh peas and slocum tomatoes that are really good.
Yeah. Well, Mike, we had just got through talking about they discovered the remains of a United States soldier who was killed during Pearl Harbor, the attack. He was from Boaz, Alabama, and he's going to be buried in Boaz on the 28th day of August. So his name is Ralph C. Battles. He was 25 years old, and we were talking about that, but thought I'd bring you up to date on what we had just talked about. Is the water any better, or the flags, are they still?
Yeah, it's kind of red flags. The water is definitely calm compared to the way it was earlier in the week. I need to mention happy birthday to my mom, Carol Pro Amos.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Happy birthday to Carol.
Yeah, and I hope that she has many, many more. And of course, the birthday buddy will be around today, hopefully.
Yeah. When did you first meet Mom? When you were about 2 or 3?
No, maybe not 2 or 3, but probably the 3rd or 4th grade. Miss Rowling's class in the 3rd grade. I could have met her then. Miss Davidson's class in my 4th grade teacher, who taught me all about the seeing the birds and the
Audubon
Society. She taught that.
How old were you when you got married?
Did y'all not go to kindergarten together?
No, she went to a different one. I went to Miss Egan's kindergarten, located over on South Brundage Street. North 3, Montgomery Street. That's where hers was. And your mother went to Miss Julia Walters' kindergarten class, and sure, we probably knew each other during our early first, second, third, fourth. Miss Helen Cox taught me in the 1st grade, and Miss Pearl Peacock taught your mother in the 1st grade. Miss Chase Riddle, the beautiful Miss Chase Riddle, she taught me in the 2nd grade, and Miss Fowler filled in for her after she had gone on maternity leave. So those who had 2 beautiful ladies teaching me in the 2nd grade. Then Miss Rowland, what a beautiful lady she was, taught me in the 3rd grade. Miss Davidson the 4th, Miss Pierce the 5th, and Miss Boutwell the 6th. How many folks can tell you how many folks in your elementary school teachers? But they were all outstanding teachers. But your mother and I started actually courting in the 5th grade. I used to go and when she'd get there at the school, I'd go run and carry her books for her, But you're right, our relationship goes way back. And
so how old were you when you got married?
I was 23. I was 23 years old when I got married, and
then your son was 2 months from being 39 when he got married.
Yeah, that's right.
Isn't that a difference?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one I made the worst decision, your wife or mine.
Which one's the all-American punter? Out punting the coverage.
Oh yeah, you're right. But you're right. Those days go by, and let's see.
Y'all been married 41?
Yeah.
I mean, 50?
50 years. 50 years.
51, I believe.
50 years. The next.
You already hit 50.
Yeah. Well, I know that. Been 50 good years. Of course, my junior high, boy, that was when it got rough. I told you about having to dress out with those big boys, and they made you change into the little old blue shorts and white shirt every day, and regardless of how cold it was, and got popped with a wet towel. Have you ever been popped with a wet towel?
Probably my brother's popped me a couple of times.
I tell you. But every day when we go to PE, we were tormented by these big boys because they would wear us out. You had to shower. They made you shower, and regardless of how much you sweated during PE. And then they got out those ninth grade boys, big old ninth grade boys, compared to a junior high seventh grade boy. It was rough. It was rough. And
why didn't y'all have like PE teachers in there?
Well, we did, but they when they didn't come down, see, it was a dungeon. It was like Old Troy High School was like a dungeon, and you went down, and boy, the concrete was cold, and it was just. I mean, hey, going out in freezing temperatures in old short shorts and a t-shirt was tough. It really was.
I'm on Zoom if Steve wants to be on.
Yeah, Mike Amos on Zoom coming in from Grayton Beach this morning. Of course, what's some more news?
Well, tomorrow's the fishing day. That'll be at Clay Hill Farms.
Oh yeah, good.
And it's sponsored again by the Alabama Conservation Enforcement Officers Association. Mr. Jen Wright has been leading that up for a long time. But bring all your gear, bring something to put your fish in. You got to have an adult there to supervise you. And
do you have a string or do you have a cooler?
A lot of people bring a cooler or a bucket.
Yeah. How many catfish can you catch?
I imagine it'd be unlimited. They're going to give prizes for the number of catch. They have different age divisions.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they'll start right at 9 o'clock, I believe, in the morning. And probably fish for a couple of hours, but it'll be at Clay Hill Farms.
My wife had catfish for supper last night, and she said it was delicious, and of course from Mossy Grove.
Oh.
And wonderful catfish. And
mom likes fish off the bone. I'm not a huge fish off the bone.
She likes it. Her favorite part of the fish is the tail. Can you believe that?
Well, my mother, when we would have brim, she would fry it where she could eat the tail of the brim. She sure would.
And she was talking about how she missed brim. Eating brim. She loved that. Her daddy, and Mama, they caught fish all the time. They had a little pond behind their house, but they had the big lake out here, where the Pines restaurant was. Mm-hmm. Before it was the Pines restaurant, they had a big boat dock here, and what they'd do, she would, they had a house and everything, a little, cabin right out there, and she would invite all of her fishing buddies to come by and have lunch and everything, and then go fishing. Well, while that morning my father-in-law would go out and get meal cake. Have you ever heard of meal cake? Yeah. And throw it out to the fish, and then by say 1 or 2 o'clock, those brim were around that meal cake, and you just
like
you catch a mess of fish
in a barrel.
catch a mess of fish. Of course, having lunch and then going fishing, that was a lot of fun for those ladies.
Yeah, I remember years when I was a little kid, they'd have to shock the lake. And, man, there'd be 12, 10-pound bass everywhere out there.
Yeah. That was, I can remember us doing that maybe once or twice, but what we're doing is just killing, the fish or shocking the fish and
to get a count.
Cleaning it out and all that. That was the good old days. Back then, I wonder
how fat they got from all those big rolls. You remember those rolls at the Pines?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those things weighed about a half a pound.
Yeah, people throwing rolls out. Yeah, that was a good restaurant. I hate to see it go.
That was one of the best. That was Mother's favorite restaurant. Was Nelson's by the Lake.
Right, and then the Pines restaurant.
All the workers had to park up in the woods.
Yeah, a lot of people. There was a parking place up there for the people that worked there. You know, it's been a while since we had the Pines restaurant. A lot of people didn't realize that the Pines restaurant was owned by the same people that owned the Conestoga and owned the Old Mill in Dothan. You know, the Conestoga and the Old Mill restaurants are still the best restaurants in Dothan. They're wonderful more or less steaks.
Aren't they kin to Wallace Watson?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Kelly, Wallace Watson was the brother.
Mm-hmm.
He was the brother of the woman, the lady that owned the Conestoga and the man that owned the Old Mill.
Yes, sir.
And he had a great restaurant there and for a long time. And I see Wallace occasionally, and he's a good guy. He really has gone through a lot, and he's a good friend of mine.
They had Kevin and Mona.
That's right.
Yeah, Mona's married to a good friend of mine.
Well,
Greg
then they had twins.
That's right, twins.
I want to say twins.
No, they weren't twins.
Not twins.
And Brett.
Yeah. Brett.
Yeah, but him and Miss Virginia had Kevin and Mona, and then
that's right.
And then he and Miss Davis.
Well, you're right.
But there's a big 8 and under All-Star tournament today. Starting at Sportsplex, 25 teams.
Ooh, boy.
8 and under. And they're going to be in 2 different divisions, the American and the National Division. And the winner of your division will play for the championship on Monday.
On Monday. So they play all weekend then.
They'll play all weekend.
That's going to be a lot of fun if you want to go out and see some good baseball.
8 and under.
8 and under. And I guarantee you there'll be some players in that group too.
Yeah,
Troy Recreation takes a back seat to nobody when it comes to recreation.
And the Troy team will play tonight at 6 o'clock.
Be great.
When they take on Dothan American on field number 3. So 6 o'clock
so they're
tonight.
going to use all
Good
those
luck.
fields.
Probably on both sides,
I
imagine.
They're it's one of the best baseball facilities around, and and to be able to handle a tournament like that is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Not only for our city, but also for the people in this tournament. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, plus you got fishing tomorrow.
And eating good. Let me tell you something. Don't worry about supper. Eat your supper out there. They got a good hamburger.
When I go to a football game or a rec game, I want a hamburger.
You're right. And you'll want one from here because they really,
they know how to season it.
Oh yeah, they could. In fact, the food's so good they could have a little old restaurant there if they wanted to.
Probably good. They're cooking it right there on site.
It's good. It's really good. And of course, we want to mention our good friends Jason Gregory at he's got it going at.
Premier Chrysler,
Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks. And of course, he's got a big sale going on right now.
And
I guess Phoenix Suns held on last night, so they're up 2-0.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the first championship ever in Phoenix's history. If they win the title in the NBA, I was looking at this yesterday too. Devontae Wilder was a former heavyweight champion out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And Wilder had a big fight scheduled with Tyson Fury out of London. It'd be the first.
That big guy.
Yeah, but Fury has now tested positive for the coronavirus, and the fight is now going to be postponed for a couple months. So I know Wilder was wanting revenge. Your daughter, actually, Rebecca, has seen Wilder fight a couple times in Birmingham.
Yeah, that's right.
He's had a couple of big bouts at the BJCC.
But he's small compared to Fury, though. He's small. You ever noticed it?
Fury's about 6'8", almost like 275 pounds. Wilder's about 6'7".
Yeah, they're big.
But when I was working in Tuscaloosa as a rep up there, I'd go in and out of bars, and seeing different, clients and stuff like that. And I always saw a Bud Light guy that was about 6'7", and I'd always ask the owners, I was like, who is that guy? I said, did he play basketball at Alabama, or did he play basketball somewhere? And it turned out to be Devontae Wilder.
Yeah, that's right.
The Olympics in Japan, there will be no spectators at
Oh,
the
boy, that's
events.
terrible. It's terrible.
No spectators. And Michael, Pfizer is about to seek authorization from the United States Drug Administration. They want to administer the third shot to.
Yeah, I heard that's going to be shocking if that's the case.
I said they're wanting it approved. They say it will boost immunity and maybe help ward off the latest worrisome corona mutant that's out there. But Pfizer,
what do they call it? The Delta variant.
The Delta variant.
Well, I tell you what, if that's what it takes, I'm ready. I'm gonna line up and get mine done. I guarantee you.
And
I had Moderna, so I don't know. I'd heard Moderna was supposed to last up to 24 months. That's what I'd heard the other day. So I don't know if they'll have to do the same thing with that shot or not. But that's a big company in Pfizer. Yeah, there's a lot of people probably have that vaccine shot as well, so that's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Well, you guys that were talking about, how old do you have to be to take the shot and everything? I think you're finding out that these high school kids did not have to take the shot because, or what was the reason for that?
No, it's
Mike?
12 and under. 12 and older can take it.
You can take it. You can take it now, but at the time during the season they didn't take it.
Yeah, I mean, and the percentages were way low.
I have a friend that lives in Birmingham, and all three of her kids are over 12, and they've all had it. Michael,
they say that this article was written by Linda Gore of Alabama.com. I copied it this morning. Says the number of Alabama counties now considered at high risk for COVID is 26 in the state of Alabama. And they include Autauga, Baldwin, Blount, Chilton, Clark, Coffee, Colbert, Crenshaw, Dale, Elmore, Henry, Houston, Jefferson, Lauderdale, Lee, Limestone, Macon, Marshall, Mobile, Montgomery. Anyway,
how about Pike?
It also lists Green, Hale, Pike, and Randolph are in the high-risk category, although they may be decreasing their cases somewhat. But it said currently Alabama has 256 people hospitalized due to COVID, and it's just up from under 200 at the end of June. And but that was, and we've vaccinated about 33% of our citizens. But right now they list 26 counties in Alabama as high risk to COVID.
I'm gonna say it like this: please get your shots. Please get your shots. I mean, hey, be a man and be a responsible party. Get your shots. I really mean.
What you look in the rural.
If you already had COVID, you don't have to get your shots. But